In this class, we will discuss about question number 4, exercise 9.1, some applications of trigonometry. So, what about this question? The angle of elevation. What? Angle of elevation of the top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower is 30 degree. Find the height of the tower. Yes, what? We are having one tower. What? The angle of the elevation of the top of the tower. Observe what will be its solution. We are having one tower. This is one tower. This is what? One tower. I am drawing a tower. This line is showing a tower. The angle of elevation of the top of the tower. This is the ground. This is the ground, and this is the surface of the ground. One tower is standing. Clear? This is the perpendicular. This is the surface of ground. This is the base, and one tower is standing. Clear? The top of the tower, top of a tower from a point on the ground which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. What? Observe, this is the very important statement. The top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. This is the tower. This is what? Tower. Its top is this one. This is the top point. This is what? Foot. We are having tower. Its top is this one, and its foot is what? This one. Clear? Its base of this tower is this one. So, top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is, we are having one point. What? We are having one point. I am taking one point there. From this point, top of a tower from a point on the ground, which is from a point on the ground which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. We are having one point on the ground, and that point is 30 meter away from foot of this tower. This tower having foot this one. So this point having 30 meter away from this foot, this base. Clear? So again I am reading the angle of elevation of the angle of elevation is 30. What? I am doing this one. What? Angle of elevation, double line I am drawing. Angle of elevation is what? 30 degree. Angle of elevation is 30 degree. So first we should know the meaning of the angle of elevation. Once we observe any object and our head is raising, what? Raising up. Once I am standing there, I want to watch this one. What? We are having one tower. One person is standing. That person want to see top of this tower. Obviously, head of that person should be what? Raised. Should be what? Raised. Once we raise our head, then only we can observe that point. So we can say angle of elevation means what? Once we raise our head, then what angle with the ground of our line of sight? What? Once we are having our eyes, once we observe upward to watch one object there, we want to observe this top of this tower, we raising our head, then angle between our line of sight and base, this will be what? Angle of elevation. What I am saying? Once we observe any object, that one is the top place, we will raise our head, then angle between our line of sight, once this is the line of sight, this is a horizontal line of sight, once we observe the top position of a tower, top of the tower, then this is our line of sight. Once we observe top, then our line of sight will be what? This one. That time our line of sight is this one. Once we observe top point, it means our line of sight will be this one. So angle between our line of sight with horizontal line, that is what? Angle of elevation. Observe. So that is the question. Angle of elevation is 30 degree. How? One person is standing 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. One person is standing on the ground 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. That person observing the top of the tower, it means person's line of sight with the ground making angle, that is what? Angle of elevation. So person observing top of a tower with the angle of what? Again I am drawing. Person is standing 30 meter away from the what? Person is standing 30 meter away from the foot of a tower, and that person observing what? Top of a tower. Then that person's line of sight making angle with horizontal, that angle is called what? Angle of elevation, and it is given as what? 30 degree. So this angle is what? 30 degree. So now this is tower is what? Perpendicular. This base is what? This is the base of this triangle, and this is what? Hypotenuse. This is looking as a right triangle, or in the right triangle we can apply what? Trigonometric ratios. What we want? Find the height of the tower. We want to find height of this one. I am writing its name. ABC is a one right triangle. First, now answer we can easily to find, no problem. But concepts we should be understand. Then only we can find the solution. How? So the angle of elevation is 30 degree. In between we are having something. Some statement we are having. What is this? Angle of elevation is 30 degree. What is the meaning of the angle of elevation? It means angle. Once angle of elevation means raising head. Raising, our eyes should be raised. We are observing horizontally. Once we observe top position of any object, then line of sight of our eyes with horizontal making an angle, that is what? Angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation is what? 30 degree. One person, what is the given? Top of the tower from the point on a ground which is 30 meter away from the foot of the tower. So we are having tower, its foot is what? This one. One person is standing, and distance between both will be what? 30 meter, and that person's what? Angle of elevation will be what? 30 degree. It is given in the question. We want the height of the tower. So this is the right triangle in which we are having base and one angle. We require what? Perpendicular. This is the acute angle. Its opposite side will be what? Its opposite side will be what? Perpendicular, and its adjacent will be base, and this will be what? Hypotenuse. So what we can say, how we will find this one we want? We are having base and angle, so we require this one. So we know that perpendicular upon base, we are having one trigonometric ratio formula. Perpendicular upon base will be what? Tangent theta. So in triangle ABC, tangent theta will be what? Perpendicular upon base. Now I am putting the values, given values. Theta is what? 30 degree. This is the angle of elevation. Tangent 30 degree will be what? Perpendicular is what? BC, and it is the height of the tower upon B is the base is what? AB. Now values I am writing. Tangent 30 will be 1 upon square root of 3. Yes or no? Tangent 30 is what? 1 upon square root of 3. BC we want, and AB we are having 30 meter. So I am putting 30 meter. Clear? Now after cross multiplication, what we are getting? BC will be this one, 30 upon square root of 3. Now in the denominator we are having radical sign, so we should be remove this one. And how we will remove this one? We will multiply numerator and denominator by this one, square root of 3. So square root of 3 divided of square root of 3. So what we are getting? After this one we can say BC will be what? 30 into square root of 3 divided of square root of 3 into 3 will be what? 3. How many times it is going? 1 time, and this will be what? 10 time. So BC will be the height of a tower, and this is the 10 times of square root of 3 meter. Unit will be what? We are having this base what? 30. So our result will be what? We are having 30 meter away from a person from this foot of a tower. So it is meter, so our result will be in the meter. So we can say BC is what? Height of the tower, and it will be what? 10 square root of 3, 10 into square root of 3 meter. And this will be what? Height. This is what? Height of the tower, and this is our answer. So finally we obtained the height of a what? Tower. Again I am revising what we are doing in this question. Simple questions. We are having angle of elevation, and that one is what? 30 degree. Angle of elevation is what? Angle of elevation means once we observe top position, it means our head is raising. Our head is raising. One is the raising of head, and one is the raising down of our head. So once we are raising head, it means we are getting angle of elevation. That time once we raise our head, it means we are observing this point, we are raising our head, our line of sight with horizontal making the angle. This is the 30 degree, it is given in the question. And this point to foot of tower distance we are having in the question 30 meter. It means we are having one side and one angle. We require the height. So how we will find? This is the right triangle, opposite of this one is the perpendicular, its adjacent will be base, and this will be the hypotenuse. So we require P, we are having base, so we will use tangent theta. So tangent theta will be P upon B. So finally we will put the values, and finally we are getting the BC. BC will be the perpendicular and height of the tower, and we obtain 10 square root of 3 meter, and this will be what? Height of the tower. So that's all about this question. Thank you so much.